Hey y'all, it's time for Q&A for Thursday. Couple individuals asked some questions and we'll answer them as best as we can. First off, up the bat was, how do I attach painted parts to painted parts? Well, this is what I use. Okay, it's available in most hobby shops. I'm quite sure that you can get it online. I use it with this, with the ultra fine applicators. Just a little dab will do you. It holds well. What I like about it, not only does it hold well, and it's pretty sturdy, but also if a mishap occurs, which Murphy decides to visit your workbench, the parts break away clean, and you don't have as much damage. But on your chrome parts, like if you're attaching a mirror to, like, say, a door, scrape the back part, remove the chrome, a little dab will do you with the micro brush, and just put it on, hold it for just, I don't know, maybe a couple seconds, and you're good to go. Okay, you have, let me see, probably 6 more episodes of what you're all complaining about with the smoke alarm. It was not the smoke alarm. My youngest child inadvertently plugged in our old electric fence for the dogs, and that's what you hear chirping, because it indicates the batteries are dead, which we haven't used for years.
I haven't even heard the whole time. That's why I was sitting here trying to figure out what it was.
Well, on occasion it would, we were a little baffled about it, and then I went looking for it, but unfortunately we shot about 15 episodes in one day, and you're stuck with it. Sorry, kids. Can't do anything about this one. We're not going back over and do the videos. So it's not the battery. Oh, and by the way, the smoke alarms in the house are all hardwired, so there's no batteries in them. Okay. This gentleman asked me if I glue my wheels on my models. Absolutely, positively, yes. Because it's not like back in the day when, we were kids, when we were building promos and we were running around on the floor. No, my models, the wheels are glued. I did witness it years back down at Morgantown, West Virginia. A guy set his car and the table was not level, and no, the wheels are glued. Okay, using toothpaste as a polish. I know old school guys that have done it and still do it. It's viable. The only thing that you have to do, as with always, you have to test drive it on whatever paint you're using. Now, a correlation. Turtle wax. To use it on enamels, hobby paints. Polished out a roof one time on a Chevelle, dulled it right out. You gotta watch. Enamels are a little bit softer, even though we use the lacquer thinner and that toughens it up. You still have to watch what you use, and with everything else, as I said, you gotta experiment a little bit. But yeah, toothpaste works. Wouldn't be my cup of tea, but hey, give it a shot, try it. Okay, this popped up on one of the Facebook pages. A youngster said, hey, I've got glue residue from the bare metal foil. And the easiest thing to do, take a little bit of Novice 2 on a soft piece of flannel cloth and just lightly go back over top of it. This happens a lot, like if you've got like a butternut yellow or a white or an ivory car, and what it will do, it will blacken up when you go to move it, to remove it. It goes from the glue to black marks because it picks it up off the bare metal foil surface itself. Got to be patient about it. It will take it away. What pissed me off was somebody that I know that knows far better was suggesting using enamel reducer because it's just a lacquer paint job. Now, you don't use solvents to do that. The Goo Gone you can use on some situations. Way back in the day we did a video for removing the spray, the adhesive that the slot car guys were using on their tires to make them stick, and they were raising hell about the fact that they couldn't get it off. And Goo-Gone takes it off, but it does not hurt the finish on enamel and or lacquer that have been cleared. But do not use solvents to take it off. Just take a little bit of Novice 2 and like I said, put it on a piece of flannel cloth and just go back and forth. You might have to go over it a couple times, but it will take it off. Alright, young man, he's younger than me, he's 45 years old, said, how do you handle people making fun of you? You know, you're playing with quote-unquote toys. Tell them to kiss your ass. These are not toys. The amount of time, the amount of money, the amount of work that we put into these cars, in actuality, these are a form of art. Just like model railroading, any of the other genres we have, military, maritime, whatever it is. Just go deaf. Pretend you're married, you got convenient hearing. Don't pay any attention to it. It's just other people flapping their lips without anything better to do, and to the extent that you listen to other people, to the extent you're living their lives and not paying attention to your own. Just do your own thing. Ignore them. I just laugh at people. It beats the living hell out of falling off a bar stool, doing drugs, chasing skirt when you're married or with a significant other, or pulling the handle on the local slot machine down at the casino. Okay. Young man asked about frame detail and what should be done. It's gonna sound stupid, but if you got a friend that owns an auto body shop or a mechanical repair shop, stop in, get underneath the lift, take a look around, and try to replicate it as best as you can. I've noticed as of late, and they should be proud of themselves, let me preface it with that, you know, hey, I just put my first wire distributor in, or hey, I just put my first brake lines in, or etc., etc. Good. It's plateaus, you're stepping up. Climb under a couple cars, climb under a couple trucks, check where everything's located. It doesn't always have to be exact, but it's a representation thereof. And that brings up another thing. I put up pictures of a firewall that I did for a 69 Camaro. This guy just went nuts because he said, oh, you ran those lines and they went into the firewall. They didn't go to the brake lines. How are you supposed to? You're not going to have brakes. Back in the day, there was a machine shop in Heidelberg, Pennsylvania, right down over the hill from my place where I grew up. And they made stainless steel flexible lines with aircraft fittings on them. And a lot of the guys I knew that had street rods and whatnot, that's what we ran. We ran the brake lines through the frame rails themselves. Drilled holes, brought them on, used certain fittings. A lot of times those fittings that you saw, that you were crying about, they're just decoration. They're just decoration. That's it. You want to be conventional about it? Fine. I'm not going to be. A lot of my models have the brake lines run just the way we did it back in the 70s. We ran them through the frame rails. That way it's less chance of something getting broken, pinched, cut, etc., etc. When the model's finished, then you can check it out. You want to be conventional, be conventional. It's alright, you're entitled to your opinion. It's all good. Make sure you fix your booster hose too. Alright. Young man asked, oh man, with the demise of testers, now you're promoting Tamiya. I have no problem with lacquers. I just don't play with them. I'll address that a little bit in a little bit. We were talking more about spray cans, okay? And the Tamiya spray cans, as far as I'm concerned, are the best on the market right now, okay? I indicated in a previous video, warm it up, do what I said to do, it lays down, it does the job. Enamels with the lacquers through the airbrush, yeah, and I've been doing it for decades. I still got people telling me I can't do it. Now, the reason that I always promoted enamels with individuals coming out into the hobby, especially with the airbrush, is because it's more forgiving, especially when it comes to prep work. Lacquer, you better be up on your game with your prep work, because the slightest thing is going to show a scratch mark. And as I said, it's just my opinion. Enamels are easier to work with simply because they have a healing property to them. If I would take two roofs on the same, you know, two different models, same model, just two different ones, and went back and forth, I could show you, and we already did this, I could show you the difference. Like I said, it's all about preference. The Tamiya lacquer sprays, readily available, although they are having some shipping problems right now, and some of the colors and everything aren't going to be available until the end of this month, possibly next month. Sorry about that. But no, still a great proponent of enamels, especially using them through the airbrush. That's why I'm a great proponent of the MCW Finishes new enamel line. Have as of yet not test drove the Revell line, but we're going to get to that. The miscreants are coming to invade at the end of next month, so I'll have 4 days of terrible behavior, but we're going to get some of these new enamels up and see how they lay down, especially the clears. Alrighty, this is the last one, and this one came up. One of my kids that belongs to Patreon, and also, you know, he bought the DVDs, he bought into the program. He's come light years in just a short time. He was a good modeler to begin with, and now, you know, we put a little polish on it, and he's doing very well. And he got a hold of me privately. He said, you know, really frustrated with this because there are a couple individuals on one of the major, larger Facebook pages that just don't want to. All they want to do is promote. You only have to stand up to 600, and you know you don't have to do that. You only have to stand up to 3,000, 12,000 is ridiculous. Rob, this is for you and for everybody else. Most people that do not attend model car shows would not know a quality paint job if it jumped up and bit him in the ass. And that's not a hack, it's a fact. Okay? Beauty is always going to be in the eyes of the beholder. We've got a guy that hangs out with us at the shows and everything. He builds, he enters the shows, and he gets pissed off. He never wins. And the reason being is because he doesn't do his due diligence. His prep work is not where it should be. He doesn't wet sand. He leaves gunk in his paint. Goes to clear over top of it. You've heard me preach about this 1,000,001 times. The only thing that you can do is take pictures, put them up. No verbiage whatsoever, because as I indicated in a video a couple weeks ago, Mama Gump, it always comes back. You can't fix stupid. People get into their own lanes, they get into a groove, they don't want to see anything, they don't want to hear anything, and when the mind is blind, the eyes refuse to see the truth, and you can't fix that. So the best thing that you and everybody else that gets frustrated with some of these people on the Facebook pages that just, they're locked down, you're not gonna reach them. And by putting up photos of your work where you've done what you're supposed to do to attain the plateau that you want to, okay? You can do whatever you want to do with your own models. I could care less. It's none of my business. The group that I have, they want to go. They enjoy the shows. They want to compete, and it's different. It's not like when you go and you buy a kit at the hobby shop and you bring it home and you open it up and you throw a couple coats of paint on it and you build it and you're happy with it. That's fine. These guys, they're seeking a different level. and you're not going to reach those people. So the best thing you can do, put the pictures up, and that way somebody that wants to go higher with their building and they want to push the envelope and keep going on it, well, those pictures are for them. Anything else with these people is wasted breath. Alright, so this is Q&A on Wednesday for Thursday. You all have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Keep building. God bless. And we'll probably see you next week. It's your old man from Lone Wolf Custom Painting. Y'all take care. How'd I do?